Up next, Authentically Detroit discusses building a platform for young people to express their experiences and interests. But first, this week's hot take from Bridge Detroit: highway tolls could raise $1 billion to fix Michigan roads to study fines. Is it time? And legal settlements hit 5-year high, with DDOT sued the most. Keep it locked. Authentically Detroit starts after these messages. Hello, Detroit and the world. Welcome to another episode of Authentically Detroit, broadcasting live from the Audio Wave Network studios inside of the Stoudemire. We are a content partner to BridgeDetroit.com. I'm Orlando Bailey.
And I'm Nashae Johnson.
Donna has the day off, but we are happy that our producer, Nashae Johnson, is joining us to host in her stead. We want to say thank you for listening in and supporting our efforts to build a platform of authentic voices for real people here in the city of Detroit. We want you to like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast on all platforms. We are recording at Audio Wave Network today with 3 of our vaulted youth voices. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Nashae Johnson.
I'm Jason Dyer.
I'm Faith Smith.
Faith, Nashae, and Jason are joining us here in the studio, and I want to know one thing. How y'all doing? How you doing, Nashae?
I feel amazing now. I came in with a bad mood, but now I'm on high water.
Why did
I
it
feel
change?
good. I just like being around people. I'm such an extrovert. I hate being at home. I'm online at school. So being around people just changed my whole mood.
Yeah. To my trusted co-host today, Nashae Johnson, how you doing?
I'm good. I can't believe you forced me to do this.
Oh,
this is great, though.
You're doing good.
I feel like your energy is so high, and I'm just like, hey, everybody.
You're good. You're good. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing good. Had a rough day at school, but I'm chilling right now.
You chilling right now? You
Yeah.
feeling good?
Yeah.
Happy to be here?
Yeah.
Happy to be on Authentically Detroit?
Yeah.
Have you subscribed yet?
Nah, yeah.
Okay, so you can't be a guest on our podcast and you don't even listen to us. You need to go ahead and subscribe. Faith, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Finals just passed, so I was a little exhausted. I still am a little bit. I'm recovering,
You recovering?
but I'm doing fine.
You're doing fine. What school do you go to?
I go to Renaissance.
Jason, what school do you go to?
I go to King.
Nashae, what school do you go to?
Southeastern.
So, tell me about what that sign means. So let's talk a little bit about Southeastern really quick, because they were in the news. Chalk Beat Detroit wrote an article about, I think it was last week, that Southeastern has experienced tremendous amount of flooding, and which has forced the school to close and to go virtual. So you're completely virtual right now?
Yeah, we're going to be completely virtual for the next 2 months until the school get fixed. So, and with that, like, the whole issue with the flooding, like, this was a disaster into making in our eyes, because we're in a school building that wasn't very usable still, because now that they opened up our 3rd floor during heavy rain or snow, the facility was leaking. So
you were experiencing leaks before the major flood happened.
Yeah, and then with the pipe busting, it's like, okay, we knew this was going to happen eventually. We were just waiting for everything to just finally get let onto the air. But what really blew everything for everybody is that we didn't know until that Friday before we were supposed to go back to school that next week coming from break. So that tremendous change really just threw it off for everybody.
So do you like virtual school, or you like being around in person?
Being in person.
You like being in person.
Yeah.
It works better for you?
Yeah.
All right. So
as easy it is to get good grades online, I like understanding the topic that I'm doing instead of just looking it up. But sometimes it's way easier that way. I can't stand looking at being on a computer 8 hours a day doing that.
And so they're telling parents that you guys can get back to school as early as March?
They didn't even give us a correct date. They just said 2 months.
2 months. So not a real
it could be
date.
either March or April. We don't know.
But you're completely virtual now.
Yeah.
And you don't like it.
Nope.
I'm sorry that's happening.
It's okay.
We're going to talk about more. We're going to look into what's happening at Southeastern and try to get the superintendent, Dr. Vitti, on the podcast to talk about what the plan for that school is. Because I know that a lot of folks, parents and community members are concerned with what the status of the school will be.
Yeah, a lot of us have been writing him letters. Like, for most of our final exams, we were supposed to write him a letter and be able to send it to him. But the district, well, not the district, most of the teachers are like, they don't know if they're able to send him the letters because they don't know what kind of backlash they will get or if they will get fired or something. But I've been sending Dr. V these letters since I've been in middle school, so it don't matter to me.
You a overachiever, you. I love it. I love it. Good. All right, so we got young people in here from the east side who goes to school on the east side, King, and Southeastern's on the east side, and then we got somebody who go to Renaissance. I see them colors, Faith, on the west side, and so I think we got a cool diversity of voices. So let's talk. You guys ready for some hot takes? Want to talk about some of these articles?
Yes.
All right, y'all, it's time for hot takes, where we run down some of the week's top headlines in the city of Detroit. For hot takes in Bridge, Detroit, highway tolls could raise $1 billion to fix Michigan roads. A study finds, is it time to do so? Michigan could generate $1 billion a year to fix deteriorating roads by charging motorists tolls to use nearly 1,200 miles of state highways, according to a new feasibility and implementation study for the state. Experts analyzed that all 31 highways in Michigan and determined that 14 of those highways could become toll roads, including, catch this, large portions of I-75, I-94, and I-96. Y'all be on them freeways every day? Oh my God,
Every day.
94 drives me nuts. I avoid it at all costs. Under one scenario, drivers could be charged 6 cents per highway mile, or about $12 to take I-94 from Indiana. Y'all ever been to Chicago, drove? Right. And you always drive through Indiana, right? So from the Indiana border to Taylor, Michigan, and Metro Detroit on 94, trucks could pay as much as 4 times more, while tolls would be waived for low-income drivers. I really want to see how they determine drivers who are low income and who are not.
Bring your W-2 to the road.
You bring your W-2. Do we disclose our income to the Secretary of State, or we like to call it Secretary of State? Do we do that? We don't do that. We don't disclose our income to that.
Not
Okay.
unless you're like in a program where you have to disclose your income to join the program. So now everybody in the state of Michigan has to tell the state how much money they're making. Like, okay.
Tolls could offset projected declines in traditional gas taxes. So y'all know we already pay taxes on gas to help fix roads, right? Did everybody here know that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. From electric and fuel efficient vehicles as part of a long-term financially stable transportation program, consultants wrote in one of the reports prepared for the Michigan Department of Transportation. You think everybody transferring to electric vehicles? I don't think people going.
It's not feasible. Isn't that what they said?
so.
I don't know if everybody's we gonna lose taxes on the gas because everybody getting electric vehicles. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't think that's sustainable. The power grid. Are we prepared
The
for
power
that?
grid can't handle it. At least not in the city. Like in the inner city, they said downtown can handle it, but like the regular residents, they said that it will overload the power grid.
And Bridge Detroit did an article. We studied where these electric car charging stations are, and they're not in black neighborhoods. They're not in the city. All right, last point. Any tolls would take years to implement and require approval from the legislature and the governor, among numerous hurdles. The report anticipates launching tolls in 2028 and expanding them over more than a decade. What y'all think about that? Faith, what you think about this?
I don't even know what to think. It's crazy to think that like sometimes we're going to be charged if we want to go somewhere out of the state. But I think that this promise of fixing the roads is kind of long overdue. Like,
we've been hearing about the roads for a long time, but there's precedent for that in other states. Like if you go to Ohio, you get on the turnpike, you pay when you get on the turnpike, and you pay when you get off the turnpike. It's so, especially states that are like mid-country or states that people really travel through. Nobody really travels through Michigan but Michiganders, right?
right.
And so do you think this is a feasible way to generate the money to fix the roads, or?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
My favorite part of this article is where they said that they'll implement it in 2028. So if we just wait 5 years, we can have the roads fixed.
We can have
That's
start
such a
fixing
long
them.
time.
Or start collecting money
They're
to
gonna
fix the
so
roads.
maybe by
Not even fix
2030,
it.
we can start working on the roads.
Yeah. Nashae, what do you think?
The fact that we've been waiting for so long to get these roads fixed. My grandma been complaining about the roads getting fixed since I was 4.
I caught a flat a few weeks ago.
Oh my
Right?
God.
Remember, Sarah, I was
remember
leaving the
that.
studio.
Yep.
I had to go get in my car because I caught a flat. These doggone potholes in the city of Detroit.
And if I feel as if they wanted to implement these tolls for Michigan to gain more money to fix the roads, they would have implemented them a long time ago. Like, this is just for them to find a new way to cut into the budget to put money elsewhere is what I feel. Because
so you feel like there is money already, that we have enough money in the budget to really fix the roads already. It's just not being managed correctly.
I wouldn't say we don't have enough money to do it, but I just really think the management of the money in the state is not managed correctly at all. Because that's what people voted Gretchen Whitmer into office
fix
for.
The damn
that's
roads.
What she said.
Excuse
I'm going to
French.
fix the roads.
That was her whole motto.
The roads are getting fixed, but slowly. Why are the roads on Gratiot and 12 Mile getting fixed before the city even get touched?
Well, I don't know. Jason, what you think? You get ready to start something.
As someone who drives to school every morning, I hate the
light flex. He gotta let folks know that he drives to school every day. Okay, everybody ain't able, Jason. Everybody ain't able. Go ahead, finish your story. I'm sorry.
Driving to school, I hate going over the potholes because it's not even my car. And going in the potholes stuff, the axle, the wheels, it can't really handle it. And going off the poles, they're saying low income drivers will be exempt. How will they decide who has low income?
That's the question.
That's the biggest question.
Well, will they get? Well, it's the state. So theoretically, my hypothesis is that state departments would be able to actually communicate with each other. So Health and Human Services, is that the department that distributes WIC and the bridge card, the EBT cards and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Or folks who get, right. So theoretically, that department should be communicating with the Michigan Department of Transportation to know, I don't know what criteria they would
most
use.
Of that
but
stuff, you got to sign up separately for everything.
Yeah.
It's not like you apply for one thing and then they just send you all the benefits you can get. You still got to.
Yeah.
So
Because you got the unemployment part for folks who are
unemployment. If you want health insurance, you got to do that separate.
That part.
You want a bridge card, you got to do that separate.
Yeah, that's true.
Is police officers handing out the tolls and having you pay it then and there? Like,
well,
it'd probably be a boost.
It's like, if you go to other states, the police isn't manning it, right? They have cameras and things, but it's Faith, you could work at the booth if you want to. If you needed a job after school.
So what are they doing? They're just, you got to bring a light bill up there. Like, what is it?
You got to get a stamp on your license you broke.
Right.
You got to prove hardship. I don't know. We'll find out. So what y'all saying is we need to keep following this story to figure out more.
I feel like it sounds good in theory, but actually executing it will be a difficult task.
It's not as practical as they want it to be.
Yeah. Michigan don't execute anything anyways the right way.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go to the next hot take. Y'all good? Yeah, everybody got everything out? Okay. The next hot take. Legal settlements hit a 5-year high, with the Detroit Department of Transportation being sued the most. This is in Bridge Detroit, a story by Malachi Barrett. So catch this. Taxpayer-funded payments to settle lawsuits against the city have reached a 5-year high, largely driven by claims targeting Detroit's transportation and, guess what? You guessed it, police departments. Since 2017, Detroit has paid out $88.9 million to settle 1,528 lawsuits involving allegations of police misconduct, destruction of property, injuries from city buses, and other issues. A Bridge Detroit review showed 3 out of 4 lawsuits settled in the last 5 years involved the Detroit Department of Transportation. Settlements against DDOT nearly doubled from 2020 to 2022, rising from 224 settlements to 409 settlements. Corporation Counsel, that's the city's lawyer, y'all. His name is Conrad Mallett. He told Bridge Detroit that the rise in the settlement agreements, which doubled in 2 years, is tied to delays in court activity during the pandemic. It said that the city isn't under any more legal pressure than it has been in the past, Sarah Johnson. That's what the lawyer said. Detroit resident Ramon Jackson said the uptick in settlements is evidence that there isn't enough transparency around why lawsuits against the city are settled, which makes him skeptical of whether those legal deals are warranted. The amount of money flowing to personal injury law firms each week, y'all know Jumana and y'all know them things.
Yeah, them billboards.
Yeah, them billboards and them commercials and stuff like, call 1-800-JOHNNY. 855, warriors, all of them. Okay. He argued it sounds like a Ponzi scheme. So catch this. Litigation discussions. This is key. Hear this. Are exempt from the Open Meetings Act. So city council conversations about providing legal representation to city employees and the merits of settlement agreements happen in private. Each week, the council approves dozens of legal settlements during its formal session with little or no discussion. That's every Tuesday, city council's informal session. The lawyer, Conrad Mallett, said the city struggled with lawsuits from incidents on city buses because Detroit is self-insured. He said the city is liable to pay personal injury protection insurance benefits to victims of bus crashes. Our analysis at Bridge Detroit of city data obtained through the Freedom of Information Act found 92% of settlement payments from 2017 to 2022 came from lawsuits against, number one, the Detroit Police Department, totaling $42.7 million, and the Department of Transportation, totaling $39.5 million. Sarah, you turning red in your cheeks. What you got to say? What say you?
I just think it's so shocking. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me that the Department of Transportation has this many lawsuits. Like, what are y'all doing?
It's not shocking to me at all.
Tell me why it's not shocking.
It's not shocking because as a person who takes the bus, a lot of stuff goes on.
Like what?
I've had the bus break down in the middle of the route, and then I had to wait 2 hours to get another bus who was coming because the other bus was late. And then just like rude bus drivers.
But I feel like that stuff doesn't necessarily equal a settlement, I guess. It's like, I understand that a lot goes on, but it's like...
They get in accidents?
Yeah, accidents and stuff. But it's like, you really have to meet a certain burden of something to be having a settlement. So it's like, for y'all to be on par with the police, really... And we all know how the police do. It's like...
So, here's the... So, I know in recent years, the city has been really on the spree trying to get more and more people to apply to be drivers for the DDOT buses. Mm-hmm. And so I think what we're seeing in many respects is a change of guard on the buses, where we're seeing a lot of younger drivers and a lot of our veteran drivers are probably retiring or going on to do other things, right? And then also when a bus gets into an accident or incident happens on the bus, like I've been on the bus where a random man was trying to attack the bus driver with a knife, and we were delayed for hours to the point where my mom was just like, I'm coming to get you because this doesn't make any sense, right? Imagine if a rider got hurt, or if that driver ended up getting hurt because this man was wielding a knife at the driver. That's one thing. But the other thing too is, I think they put cameras on the buses in part because the culture in Detroit, like if they saw a bus get in the accident, people would jump on the bus to be hurt, to act like they was in the accident.
Absolutely not.
Right? So my question is it feasible for the city to pay out settlements, and cheaper for them to pay out settlements, or is it more cost burdensome to litigate in court for lengthy periods of time? What do we think?
I'd rather we go and litigate the issue, because if you settling these discussions in private, these counselors, our city counselors are just breezing by because the city of Detroit got so many issues. I feel as if this thing right here is just little to them. So they just let them have it. We got bigger issues to work with. But this, now that they let all these little burdens go by and fly, now we got one of our biggest burdens. And with the police having so much settlement money on them, I'm really not surprised at all.
Why not?
We are.
She's sitting up, y'all.
If we want to get into it about the Detroit Police Department, they get paid at least what, $55,000 a year.
I think the new starting salary is around $50,000 to $55,000 a year.
The new starting salary is around $55,000 a year. They don't care.
You're saying that's not enough.
That's not enough to live and provide for a family. $55,000 a year is not enough at all, and that's coming from somebody that used to live off $48,000 a year with 4 people in a home. So $55,000 a year plus a child, and that's not enough at all.
So do you think we're asking too much of the police, or we're not paying them enough? We're asking too much of them based on the fact of what we pay them.
In a sense, yeah, because like back onto when we
Aren't
brought
these
up public
people though?
safety,
But I know, but aren't these people choosing to be police officers and choosing to accept offers?
And they get a lot of overtime.
And they get overtime. And so, like, you know, I think one of the issues around this, Nashae, is also like the transparency piece. We don't know what is actually being litigated, right? And we
Yeah.
don't know the merit by which city council is assigning attorneys to represent some of these police officers and, you know, the police departments. I mean,
And what
complaints
happens
of
to them
misconduct
afterwards?
and what happens
Do they
afterward.
keep their job?
Right, all of that. And so would we rather see this litigated or settled? Do you think we can end up paying more or not? Go ahead, Jason.
I say I'd rather see it litigated because in court, if it's litigated and then a verdict is reached, we can put in place new policies and stuff to get, let's say, better equipment or better wages so they can actually do their job properly or function properly instead of having all these settlements and city council, the buses breaking down, DPD getting all these settlements having on them because of wrongful misconduct, harassment, all of that. If we litigate in court,
So if we litigate and it becomes public, it provides a different measure of accountability. We can say this is what is wrong, and then we can figure out how to change the culture of some of these organizations.
yep, and in the court we can warrant new policies and stuff where we can actually make sure legally that they are held accountable.
Got it. You good? You good, Sarah?
I think also if you litigate it in court, like, yes, it will cost more, but then you can be like, these people are costing us more and this is who's doing it. But when you do it behind closed doors, you don't really know, like, because it's a lack of transparency. You don't know, like I said, like if a police officer does something and they've now cost the city millions of dollars, okay, you're only getting paid
I deserve to know because I'm
$55,000 a
paying
year,
for
but
this.
who gets to cost their job millions of dollars and just keep their job? But Detroit doesn't report that. Detroit doesn't tell you who's doing what and if they keep their job after either.
Yeah, that's so true. And so I think transparency is the thing here. We want to know what's going on, right? And even for Bridge Detroit to write the article, we had to put in what we call a FOIA request. That's Freedom of Information Act request. Because some documentation and stuff, they don't give it to us unless we pay for a FOIA, right? So we have to, you know what I mean? And a lot of this stuff should just be able and open for the public to consume, especially if you're paying taxes.
Right.
We pay income tax, we pay property taxes here in the city of Detroit, right? Nashae, you got a job, so you pay income tax. Don't you? All right, y'all. If you have topics that you want discussed on Authentically Detroit, you can hit us up on our socials at Authentically Detroit on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can email us at authenticallydetroit@gmail.com. We'll be right back. Founded in 2021, the Stoudemire is a membership-based community recreation and wellness center centrally located on the east side of Detroit. Membership in the Stoudemire is available on a sliding scale for up to $20 per year or 20 hours of volunteer time. The Stoudemire offers art, dance, and fitness classes, community meetings and events, resource fairs, pop-up events, the Neighborhood Tech Hub, and more. Members who are residents of the east side have access to exclusive services in the Wellness Network. Join today and live well, play well, be well. Visit ecn-detroit.org. Have you always dreamed of being on the airwaves? Well, the Detroit Eastside Engage Podcast Network, or DEEP for short, is here to help make that dream a reality. Located inside the Stoudemire, the DEEP Network offers studio space and production staff to help get your podcast idea off the ground. Doesn't take a whole lot of work to get started. Just visit the Authentically Detroit page at ecn-detroit.org or call Sarah at 313-948-0344. All right, welcome back to Authentically Detroit. We are joined with our Vaulted Youth Voices guests, Jason, Faith, and Nashae. And in this segment, we want to talk about building a platform for young people to express their experiences and interests. And when we talk about platform, we're mainly talking about the podcast platform, right? We are joined by 3 young people who are taking our Vaulted Youth Voices podcast class almost every Monday here in the Stoudemire to learn how to build a platform so that they can express their experience around topics and issues that matter to them. Welcome, y'all. Welcome back. How y'all feel?
I'm feeling good.
All right. So why podcasting? Why podcasting, Faye?
Podcasting, I don't know. I feel like it's just another media platform for me to say what I want to say. But like you said, it's not as like censored, so I get to address the topics that are like taboo and things like that, things that normally people don't really discuss or talk about.
Do you feel that you have in your life right now a platform to express the things that you care about? Do you have a stage to do that already?
Not really. I feel like, especially as a Black girl, people always want to censor you and tell you how to feel.
Wow.
And they don't really.
In what
let you
ways?
express your
Say more
truth.
about that. Who are you talking about?
Even down to teachers. Even when you try to say, "Oh, I don't feel like that was okay," well, they just brush past your feelings, and especially since I was little, I've always been in like STEM before I decided that I wanted to be a business major. So I went to a lot of STEM events, and sometimes I was the only Black girl there, and I was always kind of censored, and my ideas were always kind of shunned, and it made me feel like I wasn't as important as the other people in the room.
Sarah, do you feel tone police like that, or did you growing up?
Always. Oh my gosh.
Where does
especially
that
in
come from?
school.
Talk about it.
What do you mean? Where does that come from?
I mean, where do you think it comes from? Is it just how we're so centered in patriarchy and maleness in this country, or
Yeah, I think that there's like this inherent like people feel like when you're a woman, especially when you're a Black woman, like they need to put you in your place, or it's like always like knock you down a peg, especially if like someone sees you feeling good about yourself or just confident. It's like people just feel, and I feel like people are socialized to be that way from a young age, but they just feel entitled to treat you that way.
Nashae, do you experience that?
All the time.
Because you are outspoken. You gonna say the thing. Tell me why and where.
A good prime example. So like when I worked at Foot Locker, so me working at Foot Locker, like it's a job where you just sit and communicate. And it was, I had a lot of men. I got a lot of men around my job. My store manager was a man, all of them. So it was just a time of day where I was the only girl in the store at the time. So we all just having a conversation, and they bring up like the values of life and the values of objects and items. So somebody had cracked a joke about cars. They're like, "Oh, I'd rather buy a watch because it's gonna say the same value before I buy a car." And it was going back and forth about that. So I had threw my little input in them. Well, what do you know about a watch? What do you know about a car? And then I'm like, okay. So I put my input in some more, and I seen
you
them.
kept talking. It's like, oh, I'm gonna keep talking.
Yeah,
yes.
and then I seen them like ignoring me and pushing me out the way. I'm just like, it's not gonna stay like that. So let's make a conversation change, because you're not gonna sit here and ignore me, regardless of me being a child, regardless of y'all being grown men, and regardless of y'all just talk about the value of a Rolex over a car. It's a stupid conversation. And then I feel as if America got so many. It's built off the grounds of men. The principles in America are all men-based, so I can't understand how you can be a man and be an anti-feminist. Because you made the women act the way they do, because this country was built off of men principles. So, and then being a Black woman at that, we're automatically put down to, I feel as if Black women are at the bottom of the barrel. We're under Black men in my eyes. Because Black men, they already get...
In your observation.
Yeah, Black men are already mistreated by the public, but Black women, they're mistreated by their own kind. They're mistreated by white men, white women.
And Black women are the carriers and saviors of this democracy.
Yes.
Wow.
Definitely.
Jason, you hear your classmates, your colleagues, these young ladies expressing themselves around their voice being tone police and marginalized. What do you say to that?
In my experience, I have a twin sister. So I have a twin sister. I've always been like around the audience, and somehow, some way, some shape, form, or fashion, her voice is either diminished or just completely ignored. I don't understand why, because as you said, Black women are the bearers of every tone, every skin tone, every kind of person. So I don't understand why they're the most hated and most mistreated.
As her being your twin sister and as a Black man, are you helping her uplift her voice instead of them letting these men diminish her voice being her brother?
As much as I can, I'm not doing enough, in my opinion.
You're not doing enough. What can you do?
More?
I can be more outspoken about it. Like if it's more evident to come up in the situation, I can be like, "Yo, stop. Like chill out or stop. And if it keep escalating, I can de-escalate it or handle it in general.
Jason, tell me why podcasting.
Podcasting reaches a certain demographic that actually wants to listen to a topic that has the raw, the gritty details, the getting your hands dirty. It has the actual details, and opposed to it being restricted, if it was on TV or on a radio, a podcast is less restricted, so you can get the details out and get what you actually have to say off your chest without being censored.
Do you feel seen and heard by your peers and the adults in your life?
Most of them, yes.
Okay, good. He's a man. He's a black man. He's a young black man. So it's so crazy how diametric the experiences are. Nashae, why podcasting?
I chose podcasting because the things that I want to do in life. And I feel as if podcasts will give me a space opportunity where I can voice my opinion more. And then since I'm in a time and place in my life where I feel as if my word matters the most right now, I just need somewhere to put it. I need somewhere to place it. And podcasts is one of the good ways I can do that.
Do you feel seen and heard by your peers and the grown-ups in your life?
It depends on what grown-up that we talk about. So like family-wise, no. But any other, like my advisors, like you, Miss Tanya, Kayla, of course. My peers, of course. And I like the fact that everybody else around me values my opinion sometimes. But when it comes to family, no.
Why not?
Family, because,
they too close.
It's not even that they too close. It's just, black families have this weird little stigma around them, whereas if, you're a child, stay in the child's place, your opinion doesn't matter.
That right there.
You experienced that too, Jason?
I literally got kicked out the house before for voicing my opinion on how I felt. And I'm like, okay, so since I got to be the bigger person and apologize to a grown man because he don't know how to control his feelings or validate me as a person, I'm going to just apologize and just stay out the way. So
man.
It's just getting to the point. Sometimes I just shut up.
How does that make you feel, though? How do you think that affects you as a person when you're constantly being told to be quiet and you have, big opinions? Do you think that sometimes it makes you, question your opinions or, question yourself?
Recently, I was questioning myself a lot. I was like, am I the problem or stuff like that? But once I sit and evaluate the whole situation, I just look at it and just shake my head because if I'm not that much of a problem and if other people are seeing that I'm not the problem, then I'm going to validate my feelings even more, regardless.
Right.
Faith, do you do that kind of self-introspection and validation, especially when you feel like you're being censored and ignored? What's your process?
I'm not proud to say, but I shut down for a long
Oh, man.
I shut down for a long time. And I'm just now coming out of my shell. This is one of my things that's helping me come out of my shell because like I told you when we were sitting at the table, I don't like to speak. I really don't like to talk because I always felt like nobody really cared what I had to say. And then sometimes you're trying to talk to somebody or you're trying to make conversation and they make you feel like you're interrupting their space. And I just got tired of feeling so bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm tired of getting my feelings hurt. So, and then the crazy thing is when you shut down, oh my God, what is wrong? Are you okay? Don't do that. Do not do that. But now I'm coming out. Sometimes I hide back in my little cocoon, but I'm coming out a little bit. But I shut down for a long time, years.
So you're finding your voice now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like your voice?
Sometimes she's a little crazy, but
Yeah.
I like her for the most part.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I remember growing up and feeling like my perspective was never taken seriously because of my youth. And when I started my career, when I was a working professional, I started when I was really young, fresh out of college here at ECN. 21, 22 years old. I think I was 22 years old. And I always felt marginal because of my youth. And so I was really looking for, especially grown-ups, to allow me a stage to express my experience and idea and for them to just be quiet. Like, how important is it for you to have the space to talk about your experiences? Like, you talked about being on the bus, right? And
Right.
that whole experience, and you understanding, like, you not even being surprised that the number was high. I don't be on the bus. I was shocked at the height of that number, right? But nobody has asked you what your experience was. How does it feel to be, broaching and creating a platform for yourselves to just say what you need to say without being censored, to be who you are in a very loud, open, and public way?
It feel good. I'm in love with my voice, actually. Like, I love telling people my opinion. I love getting people reactions about opinion that I have, because I feel as if the youth deserve this. We've been shut out for so long. And the fact that we've shut out for so long, like the Detroit public school system, we just sit and deal with stuff like that. We don't have to deal with that if we...
Like, y'all wrote letters in to the superintendent and they weren't sent.
If we had something to say, and now that it's giving us something to say, it finally feels as if we being heard and a little slight changes being made. I just want to be that person to just help the up and coming generation to have something going for themselves before I have something for myself.
I think it's really cool. Jason, how do you feel about you being able to create a platform to explore your interests, right?
Coming from from a family where I didn't really have a voice on how I was feeling, and then I got to like an environment like ECN. I'm like, all these people in here, and they all have the confidence and the comfort in this space to say how they feel and actually be proud of saying it and not have to be censored what they be saying. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna get like that. And being at ECN since June of last year, I've developed that kind of voice and that kind of opinion where I'm able to speak how I feel and not be ashamed of it.
You know, like, how amazing that is, especially for a young black man, because what's pushed on the young black man? Your feelings don't matter.
Yeah.
Get out your feelings. Don't cry. That's feminine. You gay. All of this craziness, right? And so you growing up and I understand to a certain extent where that comes from, because the world is hard on black men, and you got to be able to, take a licking and keep on kicking, as the young folks say, as the older folks used to say, right? But you felt a way about not being able to talk about how you really felt.
Yeah. So, not a lot of people know this, but freshman year when we was virtual, it really impacted me, and so I had to go for like a month and a half. I had to actually go into the hospital because I was feeling like I wanted to end myself. Then I got out. I'm like, I'm never going back to this kind of person. And then over the past year, I'm like, all right, I got to do something about this. I got to make sure I never come back to that place. And ECN has been that place where I can come to.
I'm about to cry.
Where I can come to and actually be myself and actually have a voice without being ashamed of it or being judged for it.
You take it, Sarah, because I'm about to cry. I don't have words. Oh my goodness.
That's really nice. I mean, I think that it's really nice that you all get to have this experience, because like when I was in high school, I feel like it was the same as it is now. Nobody didn't want to listen. Nobody cared really what I had to say, I don't feel like. And it was like, always, I relate to what you said about like people will shut you down and then be like, oh, what's wrong? Like, we care about you so much. It's like, no, you don't. Like, I was just speaking my opinion. You were acting like I was the dumbest person in the room. So.
Well, this has been fun. I'm done. Like, I am done for it. Like, I think that we have not really done the kind of introspection that is required to really understand what the pandemic took from us and how it has affected our psyches and the people that we lost and weren't able to go to a funeral, but also the chilling effects that it has had on some of the young folks. You stating that you were ready to end your life because it had become too much and you had to figure out how to not stay in that place. And coming to a place like ECN where you found community, where you found a witness, right? A witness to your experience and a witness to hear how you felt, because you didn't always have that so powerful. And I'm so glad you're still with us. I'm so glad you're still with us. All right, y'all. I'm done for. I'm really trying not to like completely lose it. It's time for shout outs. But before we get to shout outs, if you have any topics that you want discussed on Authentically Detroit, you can hit us up on our socials at Authentically Detroit, at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can email us at authenticallydetroit@gmail.com. Any shout outs?
I shout out myself for being able to come here. Because I done been through so much last year. I've been taking L after L after L. I'm ready for something different. I'm really trying nowadays. So,
Sarah, you got shout outs?
I do. I want to shout y'all out just for coming and for just doing such a good job. I mean, the whole group, just from the time we were downstairs and you all just were so like open to just sitting down and doing that 5 minutes of a podcast that you had just made up a few minutes before. Like, that's amazing to me. I think it's really good, and I'm excited to see how you all like are able to grow and really shape your voices. And also, I want to shout out the forest defenders and activists in Atlanta and Stop Cop City.
Jason, you got any shout outs?
I want to shout out to my family, and after this podcast, I'm going downstairs. I'm gonna hug Miss Kayla and Miss Tanya. I want to shout out to all the people that I met here at ECN, and I want to shout out to the new family that I've created and community I've made.
Awesome.
I want to shout out my mom. Like Jason said, self-harm thoughts can get like really, really heavy, and everything that I was going through, she always like made my feelings feel validated, and I could just cry to her and she would just hug me and sing Luther Vandross songs to me.
That is so cute.
And just make me feel just like the most special person. So I love you, mommy.
The world needs y'all. Y'all are so valuable. And you know, we're teaching y'all, but we're also learning a great deal from you all. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Y'all got to come back.
I'm for sure coming back.
Looking forward to knowing y'all more.
That's going to do it for this episode of Authentically Detroit. We will see you same time next week. Until then, we want you to catch the wave.